Peter Rowan.
Thank you so much, Max. Max Baca, Josh, Los Texmaniacs, Soul Brothers. Mr. Joe Craven, are you still out and about in the circus tent? Joe, come forth. Joe, come forth. Come forth, Joe. One of the great musical pantomime artists who can still make a sound on the instrument. Joe, I'd love to hear you play some fiddle on one of these tunes here. A wapango. We got. This is the most fun band to play with because they got all these rhythms with strange sounding names. You got the waltz, you got the polka, you got the two-step, and you've got the wapango. I mean, come on, the wapango. Mexican rock and roll right there, brother. Rock and roll! The cumbia. So here's Joe. I don't know what key this is in, but Mr. Joe Craven. Thank you, Joe. Years ago, I traveled down into South Texas and Flying Fish Records. Bruce Kaplan was kind enough to make a single of the Free Mexican Air Force. We had like 100 singles. And in the old days of the record business, all the restaurants had jukeboxes. And so I spent about 20 minutes of my life finding jukeboxes to put my single in. And every time I'd come in, I'd be the only person to play it. And I'd put the quarter in the jukebox, quarter by then, it used to be a nickel. Put a quarter in, and I'd be like, and everybody'd be kind of going, huh? And then I'd come back the next day, it'd be gone. So self-promotion never worked for me. And I went down to South Texas to a little town called Dilley. A friend of mine was down there doing something. And and he took me to his local restaurant where he had gotten the Free Mexican Air Force on the jukebox. And of course, nobody there spoke English. They only spoke Spanish, but they totally got it. And it stayed on there for 3 years on that jukebox. Every time I go through town, man, I could not leave that restaurant. There'd be like 100 bottles of beer on the wall right on my table, you know. And so it's been great adventuring into the land of Mexico. You know, Texas, for all its problems, you know, the reason I left is because they were threatening to secede from the Union. And that's when I moved down there and lived there, but they never pulled it off. And I said, never mind. And man, I'm glad I got out of Texas. You know? But if it wasn't for Texas, I wouldn't know these folks, Flaco Jimenez, and I never would have written this song.
Yeah, man. Texas is the only state where you could go up to somebody and they'll say, "My name is Billy Bob Jimenez."